Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go to wrap up this Sunday of action. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his second season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Michael Kendricks is an inside linebacker who can roam sideline to sideline and make plays.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. I got a
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they work this Field across the 45.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Mike, Mike, stay with your man.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Play fake. Cousins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Strip that ball.
They'll run with Cook. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it, but it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs, and they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
On now to kick it away is the punter, Matt Weil. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Now it's Lockett. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year, when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago, and he stopped immediately there. The tackle goes to Harrison Smith. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
Big Dwayne Brown is still one of the top left tackles in the NFL. A 4-time Pro Bowler, he's respected around the league because of his big frame, nimble feet, and strong grip. When you rush the passer against Dwayne Brown, you're just hoping to get near the quarterback.
Let's go, deep tight.
Throwing on 2nd down, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a yard, Wilson, and it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
The transformation of defensive end Danielle Hunter is complete. No longer just a situational pass rusher. He's a full-time defensive end playing the run and the pass with equal skill. Fourth in the league in 2018 in sacks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On first down, Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Wilson. It's caught. Block it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity. Strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out.
Right back. 315. 54 miles.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Come on, QB, come on.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because,
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
380. Black spot forward. Wild Bill, Wild Bill.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They run it with Carson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
I know you felt that one.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 14. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
Wilson now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. His throw incomplete. The tight end Ed Dixon was the target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. A little jet sweep to start the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
On 2nd and very short, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Cook following the penalty. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
It's a gain of 14. At the 46. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey. 4 down.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Mike 54. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Here's Carson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd and 1, Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Mike 54. Watch a slant.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had it goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side.
Right,
I missed that. Totally missed it.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly.
Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Check 53 mark. Check 53 mark.
Second and 5 now. Wilson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be third and 5. Now it's Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Play to win. Let's go.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Mike, 315. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go, D.
They'll run on first down. Carson, he'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Now it's Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. Throwing on second down. Wilson got a man. It's Brown. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, Wilson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the out.
Cousins. And that's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Matt Wild now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returnable for Lockett. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Chris Carson trotting back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Quiet, Madden. Check with the 53. All day, baby. All day. All day. All day.
Here's McKissick. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw on second down. Wilson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
To throw is Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll run with McKissick. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Check 53. Mark. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
From the 31, Wilson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 25 yards that time. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. David Moore there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 29-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Get him! Get him! Get him!
On the ground, it's Cook. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Get to 50! Check my 50! Watch the run! Watch the run!
On 2nd and 11 now, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Just letting the folks know this is the next-to-last game on the preseason Week 2 schedule. One more tomorrow night, and then our first Monday night game of the year. The 49ers and Broncos from Denver. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Now it's the backup Smith. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it. That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Let's go now. D, load the base. Here we go. Man left, man left. Even. 4 down. Even.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a...
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. The big fella, the 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Ready?
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. The throw complete to Beebe. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Bailey's kick is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He's got this one complete to John Ursua. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll pick up the 1st down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Penny, a 1st down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the 2nd level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. Jennings was the one he was looking for. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
30 base. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On the delay, this is Abdullah. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Tucson. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Ready?
50, Mike's 50. It's our time. It's our time.
Second and 14. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it has given them good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that game plan. It takes the pressure off of him as a thrower.
A team effort, and they're winning on the scoreboard. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Smith now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a 1st down. Now Rashad Penny. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing now is Geno. And his throw here's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Penny. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
54 miles. Here we go, here we go.
From just shy of midfield, Smith. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And out now come the Vikings. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
It's a gain of 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 5. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. This quarterback now just 2 of 5 since coming on, but he does have a first down here. A shotgun handoff. This is Abdullah. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end. 4 down, 4 down.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. It's caught. Smith. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
A close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will close the gap down to 14. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And they forced 4 turnovers now in that last possession, most recently the interception.
I'd love to be in charge of their highlight video at the end of the season, though, because this game, you could cut it into one sequence, take away, take away, take away, take away, and everyone goes home happy.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Smith. Underneath pass here to Van Ness. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And it's taken in at the 9. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Here's Matt Weil now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
The drive starts with C.J. Prosise. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Now it's Penny, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now on 2nd and 13, Smith. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Jennings was the one he was looking for. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd and 3. And that'll be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Ready! 18 Gator. Danny. Big River.
On first down. Boom. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd and 1. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
It's our time.
On 3rd down. Boom. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
They'll run with Boone here. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Bound to lose one.
Ready?
They're going to look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2nd and 6. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Olabisi Johnson there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point try by Bailey. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
They start out with a run from Preseason. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and it's third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Smith. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 22.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the run, it's Penny. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here we go.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Smith now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Here's Penny on the counter. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Come on. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
A shotgun snap for Smith. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Penny will try to punch it in. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Gary Jennings there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done, because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14.
Makes the score Seahawks 34.
A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll run on first down. Boom. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd and 2. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Penny. And some space here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They keep it with Penny on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Check.
Smith going to throw it. Got a man. It's Brown. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. They come up in an offset eye. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Geno now to throw, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Smith. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st down. Boom. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. The throw complete to Beebe. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. This quarterback now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. On the carry, it's Boone. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Let's go now.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Single. Hey, watch 12, watch 12.
Ready?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar.